This is Fluntern Cemetery on the outskirts of Zurich in Switzerland. It is the final resting place of a few Nobel Prize winners and other famous and not so famous Swiss citizens. But perhaps its most famous resident is the Irish writer James Joyce, who was buried here in 1941 along with his wife Nora 10 years later. This visit today is a personal pilgrimage for Kieran Rogers, who is a descendant of James Joyce on his mother's side. I have to say the setting here is magnificent. All the graves are immaculately kept and the lawns well manicured. Some of the trees here must be 100 feet high, yet sweep down majestically to render a solemn scene. The flowers make great splashes of colour all over the cemetery, and the chirping of birds provides any visitor with a herzlich willkommen, a hearty welcome from nature herself. Perhaps any discussion about repatriating Joyce's remains back to Ireland should be ended. We couldn't ask for a finer location befitting the man than here under the summer skies of Zurich.
I stand here today, Bloomsday, at the graveside of James Joyce in Fluntern Cemetery in Zurich, to pay homage on this, the centenary of the publication of Ulysses, to one of the truly great writers in any language. For sheer breadth of erudition, linguistic virtuosity, and audacity of artistic execution, he holds a unique place in the canon of Western literature. In our culture, he has achieved almost divine status, yet he betrayed his humanity in all its beautiful ugliness in his most notable work, Ulysses. Throughout its pages, Joyce bared his soul and held up a mirror for us to better accept ourselves as the fragile creatures we are, in spite of the strictures of religion and convention. To acknowledge that the human condition is not perfectible and that the key to harmony is compassion towards, literally, to suffer with other people. As he put it in the mouth of Leopold Bloom, a character he created to resonate with Joyce himself, force, hatred, history, all that's not life for men and women. Insult and hatred, love, the opposite of hatred, that is really life. But like life itself, Joyce, the man, is an enigma. Like Proteus, the ever-changing sea god, he wears many faces. He has become many things to many admirers, a supreme artist, devoted to his vocation, who declared war against several languages. A singularly unquiet mind that almost sacrificed its own sanity in pursuit of extraordinary linguistic expression, like Einstein, endeavouring to discover the simple yet profound E=mc squared. Perhaps only to prove at journey's end that language does not conform to mathematical principles, that, as Humpty Dumpty memorably put it before his great fall, when I use a word, it means just what I choose it to mean, neither more nor less. Impenetrability, that's what I say. Is there anything more impenetrable than the mind of mortal man, let alone that of immortal Joyce? Here, under the great blue bedroom of his sky, I hear his haunting appeal in Finnegan's Wake. 100 cares, a tide of troubles, and is there one who understands me? It is testament to his genius to confess that we are condemned to drown in the depths of his sublime intellect. We deceive ourselves into believing we can crystallize his artistic essence, carrying it as a jewel to some triumphal height, only to watch it roll down again like Sisyphus with a kind of perpetual, fascinated despair. It seems somehow fitting that Joyce is buried here in neutral Switzerland, a country that, like Ireland itself, was mercifully spared the ravages of both world wars. Joyce was a cosmopolitan in the true sense of the word, a citizen of the world. No one language, or one nationality, or one religion could contain him or define him. When he cast off those nets on leaving his native shores with Nora in 1904, I imagine that famous scene where Lucifer glared into the face of God and declared proud rebellion with two words: non serviam, I will not serve. But while the devil may have exiled himself to hell, his jealous spirit still swooned towards heaven. Likewise, Joyce may have exiled himself to Europe, but his spirit still swooned towards home. His soul was forged forever in that flawed, fiery furnace of Catholic Ireland. And that is why, on this auspicious day, as I stand over his grave, I can say in all humility, God of Mila Mahakat, thank you, James Joyce. You make me so proud to call myself Irish.